Queen Story Hour, I talked to you guys a couple months ago about that, about how they're in libraries, they have drag queens sometimes with sexual predator history, reading to kids weird stuff about gender and other things along those lines, indoctrinating them. Some good news though, at least on the national front, is that there are bills that have been introduced regarding Drag Queen Story Hour and transgender children in other states that are quickly moving through those legislatures. So in South Dakota, they passed a bill through the House. It was the first thing they put priority-wise in the South Dakota House that actually would criminalize doctors who perform genital mutilation surgeries on children or give children drugs like hormone blockers, puberty blockers, for the purposes of gender transition. So, yes. There have been similar bills introduced in Missouri, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and other states. More red states, obviously, but it's the idea is getting out there, it's getting publicity, and the people, the transgender community, the Drag Queen Story Hour pushers, they kind of have to be out there in the media defending this stuff, defending that they're drugging kids. It kind of brings it up out of the darkness, out of the shadows, into the public eye. So that's why we need to have it introduced in Michigan as soon as possible. So, I also have prepared a post. I will make sure it's emailed out to all of you with all the different information, all the different factoids, all the different crazy things that are going on here regarding the issue, so that you'll be armed with that information when you talk to other people about it. Take this to your church groups. Take it to anyone people in the middle, when they see stuff like this, it really opens their eyes. People who are apolitical, this is something that will radicalize them quickly, because they'll see exactly how evil this agenda is, how pernicious it is. And there's also a legislation in Missouri, I forgot to mention, that would make mandatory that there be parental notification for any sort of Drag Queen Story Hour event that's held in any public library. So these are the type of bills we need to have introduced. Keep lobbying your legislators, keep talking to Matt Maddock about that and others, because we need more than one person to stand up for this. We need a lot of different co-sponsors on this, a lot of different people championing this idea of pushing back against this, because if we don't stop it now, it's going to be on to the next thing, the next weirder thing, a year or two down the line. None of us could probably even imagine something like this happening 5 years ago, at least not this quick, but they are going at a breakneck speed to push this kind of stuff on us. So I will have more updates on that. The legislation is out there. I will make sure it's provided to you in an email soon from Lake, so that you'll have all that information and you can talk to your legislators and let other people know about it. One more thing I want to mention about the Second Amendment sanctuary drive in Oakland County. It's coming up, the next meeting that we all want to be there. We're going to pack the house for the county commission. That is March 18th. So there'll be another Lakes meeting in between that, where I'll talk about it more in depth. But it's coming up March 18th. We want to have a full house there. We're going to have a lot of different special speakers, people who have been victims of violence that help to protect themselves with a gun. We're going to have experts there. We're going to really do a great showing there, have the press there to make this a big issue in the county. So save that date in your minds. March 18th, we're going to be going into the county commission. They already have the resolution. We already presented it in January, but we're going to go in and make sure that this thing dominates the county commission during that meeting, and hopefully is introduced and passed. And if it isn't passed, we'll find out who in our county has abstained for our basic rights, has abstained for the Second Amendment, and then we'll proceed from there and hopefully voting them out. So, okay, any questions? The good news is already at least 10 counties have passed sanctuary resolutions in their counties. So this has already become a movement throughout Michigan. I know that they're doing it in Macomb County as well, and Wayne County. So this is happening all over. So we're part of a broader movement, not just in Michigan, but throughout the country, that this is going on in pretty much every county, not just in Michigan, but throughout the country. So the Second Amendment, pro-Second Amendment resistance to this tyranny that's going on in Virginia, and it's going to spread to other places as soon as the Democrats can do it. So the backlash is profound, and we haven't really seen anything like this since the Tea Party kicked off in 2009, 2010. So it's very encouraging.